Welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Trash. It's the show where we cook with trash. Anyways, this episode is cool because this is the first time that we've actually dumpster dived a bakery. It's a local bakery. I always had the idea of doing it, and turns out it was freaking amazing. Pulled up kind of at night, as I usually do, because for me that's just works out better with my schedule, as well as I find when you dumpster dive at night, you cause less problems, I guess, for yourself and for the business that you're dumpster diving at. So yeah, I went to the dumpster, checked it out, and bada bing, bada boom, there was a ton of amazing fresh artisan bread in there. We looked online at the bakery's menu, and we've estimated that we pulled out about $100 worth of bread from that dumpster. And that wasn't even all of it. There were bags and bags of bread in that dumpster. So we just pulled out enough for us to cook and also give some to the local charity. Other than that, we got a bunch of fruits and vegetables. We got some hummus. We got a lot of good stuff, basically. Yeah, so I will stop rambling now, and we will get right into it. Here we go. So we're going to wash this bowl stuff and hopefully make something really yummy out of it. Oh, yeah, boy. You like that? Oh, whew, okay. Get some onions right here. We're just gonna give them a little rinse down. Make sure they're not coated in black plague or syphilis. Big old thing of grapes right here. We're gonna slap this in here. Get it all nice and clean like. I actually dropped these on the floor before I brought them in here by accident, but I figure, hey, they were already in a dumpster, so doesn't get much worse than that. Nothing a little bit of H2O can't fix, I'll tell you that. Big bag of grapes, you know what I'm saying? Probably not. So we're just gonna sift through all of the grapes here and make sure that we're not eating any that potentially spoiled already. And if you find any with any imperfections, you can throw them out. Unless you have compost, in which case, hey, look at that. It doesn't have to go to waste. So have a look at that. When you're looking at fruits and vegetables, anything like that, anything that could spoil, you do not want to eat this. This is recipe for the rest of the week on the toilet. Unless you're into that, in which case, by all means, down it. But seriously, don't eat it. Alrighty, check that out. Alright, have a look at the amount of food on the table right there. And you know something crazy about it? It was 100% free. That's right, we didn't have to pay anything for all of that food. And that was only 2 dumpsters in a single night. Can you imagine the amount of food that you would have if you went every single night dumpster diving? You'd be eating like a freaking god, which is amazing, but it's also equally disturbing to see that amount of food just being casually thrown out when you have millions of people worldwide who are currently food insecure. So let's see what we've got. We've got chopped carrots, bananas, baby carrots, grapes, hummus, sandwich skinnies, oranges, dessert hummus, onions, garlic, and apples. So our total savings, including the $100 worth of bread that we pulled out of the dumpster, is about $137.75. Now that's a deal.
Round 1.
All right, for our first meal, we're going to be making roasted tangerine carrots using both the carrots and the tangerines that we pulled out of the dumpster. So set the oven to 425 degrees and then cut the carrots in halves. We'll then sprinkle a little bit of salt, some pepper, add some olive oil, and we'll mix it up. Next, we'll slice the tangerines into... Okay, never mind. There we go. We'll slice the tangerines into thin pieces like so. Grab our baking tray and then add the carrots to the tray. We'll grab our tangerines and throw them into the mix. And then place it in the oven for about 20 minutes or so. And 20 minutes later... Oh my sweet baby Jesus. Just kidding. We can pull our finished meal out of the oven. Place it on a cloth to cool down, and there you have it. Super simple, super delicious roasted tangerine carrots.
Round 2.
This next meal will be a 3-part meal, starting up with a savory confit garlic applesauce with the focaccia bread we pulled from the bakery's dumpster. All right, so we'll start off by removing the end bits of the garlic and then throwing them into a pot. And then we'll add, really? That much oil? Okay. Then we'll add some more oil to a pot, get that on the stove. We'll start dicing up our onions, removing the skin, and then slicing them into thin slices like this. Chuck them into a bowl. And then we're gonna turn that stovetop on. Throw the onions in, add a pinch of salt, a little bit of pepper, and then we're gonna move on to the apples, start removing the stem and the core. And then we're gonna chop them into chunks. Here you can see my expert knife skills. And then we're going to put the apples into the pot, add a bit of water, and then let that boil down. We'll then move over to the Focaccia bread, or however you pronounce it. Put that on a baking tray, get that in the oven so it's nice and lightly toasted. We'll then remove our garlic from the stovetop once it's turned like a nice golden brown. We'll head back to our onions and apples. We'll start mixing them up, make sure they're all nice and tender. And then we'll take that off the stovetop, throw it into a bowl, add our garlic on top, and then we'll use some sort of blender type thing to mix it all up. And then, ooh, wow, very nice. Then we'll throw that into a cup. Look at, looks so good. And then we'll remove the bread from the oven once it's nice and toasted, and then get the confit garlic applesauce on top. Bam, look at that finished meal. All right, next up we've got roasted banana vanilla hummus with a brioche roll. We'll start by putting the nanners on a baking tray, place them in the oven, and then slice our brioche roll in half. Set the oven for 300, and then throw the roll into the oven where it looks like the bananas have apparently disintegrated into oblivion. We'll wait 15 minutes. Oh, look at that, they've magically appeared again, all right. Tap the roll like a bongo, and then I'm not even sure about this part. What is that even? Anyways, I'm just the dude who films and talks, so who am I to really judge? We're going to slide what would seem to be the bananas into the mixing cup and add our dessert hummus on top. We'll get our blender in there and mix it all up. We'll smother the brioche roll with the banana vanilla hummus, close the brioche roll, and then dice it up into little pizza slices, and hey, that's another finished meal. All right, for the final part of this 3-part meal, we got carrot garlic hummus puree with roasted red pepper bread. So we'll start by filling a pot with water, we'll crank the heat up on the stove. Once it's boiling, we'll add a little bit of salt, and then we'll throw our chopped carrots in there. We'll get our red pepper bread ready, we'll throw it in the oven at 300 degrees. 10 minutes later, we pull that bad boy out. And then we can throw our carrots into a blender once they're nice and tender. We'll add a pinch of salt, the hummus from the hummus quartet that we dumpster dived, seal the lid, and then we'll turn on the blender and start nuking it. Look at that. All right, then we'll grab our bread once it's nice and toasted, split it into halves. We'll grab our puree and we'll sprinkle some on top. Seal the deal, and bada bing, bada boom. And there you have it, everyone, the final result. And here it is with the roasted tangerine carrots that we made earlier as well. Of course, we take all of the organic scraps and we throw it into the compost. And seeing as we had a crazy amount of bread left over, we stacked it up into a crate and took it to the homeless shelter. The local homeless shelter. There we go. By the way, just wanted to show you guys this t-shirt my sister made for me for Christmas. Cooking with trash, scuba diver jumping into a dumpster. This is actually the exact outfit that I wear when I go dumpster diving. The fins help me navigate, the tank helps me breathe. Alrighty guys, thanks so much for watching. You're all legends in my book. If you want to support what we're doing and help us get the message on food waste and food insecurity out there, please like, subscribe, share, yada, yada, yada. Your support seriously means so much to us. And you can also head over to our Patreon account in the info section below. Any funding we get goes straight into the project and also helps fund future community projects. So peace out, Girl Scouts. We'll catch you next time.